Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to class time. Remember, you can watch this lesson in real time on Television Jamaica's YouTube channel or One Spot Media. And you can use the various social platforms for questions or comments. I'm Brittany Henderson.
And I am Wadian Price. Yesterday, you were taught how to apply basic math skills to real-life situations. We'll continue that today as we look at some more practical applications and examples of consumer arithmetic. Let's begin.
Alrighty, so we're looking at consumer arithmetic, and our focus for this session is solving problems involving mark price, cost price, percentage profit, loss, or discount. Yeah. All right. So, Margaret wants to open a clothing store, but she's not sure how a business really works. She asked Mr. Hilton, a small business owner, to explain some business terms to her. All right. So, Mr. Price, how does a business work?
Well, shops buy goods from suppliers at a price known as cost price. So when we look at cost price, it is pertaining to the actual merchant, the business, those organizations.
Okay.
Right?
So in this picture here, I can see that we may have a little factory. So I'm assuming that this relates to a factory, and I may purchase something from this factory. All right. So this factory produces jerseys, and I bought a jersey from this factory. You know, normally though people don't buy one jersey, they buy 10, 100. But for me, you know, I just buy one this time, and I paid $1,200. So we call this my cost price. All right.
Then, the shops then sell the goods to the consumer at a higher or lower price. That is known as the selling price.
Okay, so first we go to the manufacturer, we get some goods, then I'm now the merchant, and I sell back these goods at maybe a higher or a lower price, depending on what is happening in the market. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So, that's me right there. Okay. So my selling price in this case for my jersey is now $1,500. I bought it for $1,200 from the factory, and I sold it for $1,500. Okay.
So I'm seeing here where your selling price is higher than your cost price.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, yes, I think so. So the difference between my cost price and selling price is going to be known as my profit or my loss. No, because this is a follow-up, I know that you guys already are familiar with these terms.
Now, if cost is less than the selling price of a goods or service, then the business is said to make a profit, right? If the cost price is more than the selling price of the goods or service, then the business is said to incur a loss. And there are various situations where, you know, every business really intention is to make a profit, but there are cases when, you know, loss really is incurred.
Okay. All right. So we're going back to Mr. Hilton and Margaret. Mr. Hilton is here asking Margaret, was a profit or loss made on the sale of the jersey, right? I wonder what Margaret says. Oh, so Margaret is following our lesson. Margaret said that a profit was made.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And then Mr. Hilton is going to ask her how much profit was made. Now, we spoke about it earlier that if we wanted to find the profit or loss, we'd have to find the difference between our cost and selling price.
Definitely.
So the difference between our cost and selling price would tell us whether or not we have a profit, or a loss. All right. So in our example, we bought our jersey for $1,200 and sold the jersey for $1,500. My selling price is $1,500. When I subtract my cost price from that, I'm left with $300. So we made a profit of $300. I think that is very good.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Not bad. Now, in what type of situation would a shop have a loss?
All right, so I remember you mentioning this before, that various, instances can cause us to operate at a loss. So let's look at an example of a loss occurring.
All right, so when a shopkeeper has purchased a certain article from wholesaler or manufacturer, and if the price falls, right, that is where they incur a loss. Now, in such case, the shopkeeper is forced to sell the articles at a price less than the cost price, right? The shopkeeper has incurred a loss. So, for example, the other day when tomato was really there was a time when it was at a high demand, and so the price was really high, like $700, $800 per pound. And then after a while, we realized that the farmers had to sell the same tomato for like $10, $20 per pound. But it is better to incur a loss than for everything to just spoil on you. So they sell it. You remember that news clipping where the farmer say, "What? They feed the tomato to the pigs." And the pig say, "What, salad again?" Right? But it is best to sell it for like $10 and, get a little money rather than to lose everything. And then there are other times when, there are certain things that are at a high demand. No.
Okay. So, I mean, when at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a high demand for electronics, right? And so we could, increase the prices, right?
Yeah.
And then, as things, there are other things, though, that we had to incur losses with. There were probably not such a high demand with some services. So sometimes you had to, give your service a little, so that we can get through. Okay. All right. So a company's performance is sometimes expressed as a percentage figure rather than in money.
Yeah.
Now, this is interesting. Why is it that, a company would want to express their, percentage figures, whether it's a percentage loss or a percentage profit, as a percentage instead of as a dollar figure. So before, I made $300, right? When I bought the jersey and sold the jersey, I made $300. And you're telling me that most times or sometimes companies prefer to just express it as a percentage.
As a percentage.
That's interesting. So, as I mentioned before, this is either a percentage profit or percentage loss.
So profit percent is a percent earned on every $100 of the cost price. Now, this makes it possible to compare profitability of two or more businesses regardless of size, right? So I can say I make $300, you make $300, but it is in a different situation, right? Now, when you use percentage profit, you're really drilling down into how much profit you make on every $100. So whether you're a big company or a small company, how much profit do you make on every $100 or even every $1, right? That is how the profit percentage is really important. And we're going to see that more as we go along.
So does that level out the playing field in terms of making a comparison?
Definitely.
Okay, all right. So I'm kind of getting it now. All right, so percentage profit or loss. And we want to look at how it is that we calculate percentage profit or loss. So our profit divided by our cost price multiplied by 100. As you stated before, you're doing a comparison with every $100, right? So we're multiplying by 100 to get our percentage profit or percentage loss.
Right. And it is important to note as well that your profit or loss is in regards to your cost price.
Yes.
Right, and not your selling price.
That is essential because that is a mistake that is oftentimes made by students. Okay. So let us look at our jersey situation and let us calculate the percentage profit made on selling this jersey. So we know we made a profit of $300 and we just looked at the formula to calculate profit or loss, right? So, all right, you want to write it? All right, no,
it's
all
right there.
So my cost price was $1,200. I sold my jersey for $1,500, and I made a profit of $300. As was stated before, in this case, we're looking at profit. So my profit is $300. The cost price for the jersey is $1,200. And I'm multiplying that by 100. So here we have 300 divided by 1,200 multiplied by 100. And my profit percentage is 25%.
25%. All
What
right.
does that
Yeah.
mean?
And that is what Margaret is asking. What does this mean? 25% profit. So as we made mention before, that profit percent is in terms of how much profit you make on every $100. All right. So in this case, we can see that Margaret or this company would have made $25 on each $100 or 25 cents on each $1. Right? So in this case, it is easy to compare my business with yours. So on my $100, I make $25.
And on my
My $100,
I make 50.
you make 50, right? So it is easy to compare who is really doing better.
Yes. All right. So I hope that you guys are following at home. Take note of this. Sometimes you see it and you just brush over it, but look at that. It actually has some meaning to it.
Right. And just in case someone may be asking, how do you know it is actually $25? So if you should reduce 25%, remember now 25% will be 25 divided by 100, which would be a quarter. What would be a quarter of $100? Right? $25. Right? So definitely you're making $25 on each $100.
Yes. So that is a way that you can verify your answer.
Definitely.
All right. Now we're going to look at a part that we don't really want to talk about, percentage loss. Nobody wants to incur a loss. Isn't that true? All right. So let's look at this. So what happens? We spoke about making a profit before on the sale of the jersey. But what happens if we sold the jersey for $1,300 in
$1,350.
$1,350, yes. So we bought the jersey for $1,200 and we now sold the jersey. No, we bought the jersey for $1,500 and we sold the jersey for $1,350. So I'm selling the jersey for less than I bought the jersey for. In this case, we are going to be doing a quick subtraction. We know that we sold the jersey at $150 less than we purchased the jersey for. So my cost price was $1,500. And we're going to, as you can see the calculations here, it's $150 divided by $1,500 multiplied by 100. And now we have a 10% loss. And Margaret asked again, what does this mean? Right? So guys at home, given our explanation for profit, what does this mean? So if we said that on every $100, we made $25.
Yeah.
What does it mean if I have 10% loss? All right, type it in the comments. Type it in the chat if you're on the socials, right? Ready? Okay. All right.
All right. So what does it mean? It means that you have lost $10 of every $100. Right? Or 10 cents on what? Each $1.
Yes.
All right. So it is easy to see there. And again, how do we know this? Again, 10% is written as 10 over 100, which is 10 divided by 100. So just 1/10 of the $100, which is really $10 that you have really lost.
All right, discount. This is my favorite now because I always like to go into a shop and see a discount. So let's talk about what discount is. Discount is a sales discount, also commonly known as discount, provides a customer of a business with a reduced rate on one or more of the products or services being offered. I love this, discounts.
Right, and as we are seeing in the graphics here, as it pertains to discount can be in terms of just dollar figure. For example, $100 off, or you may see a 10% off, a 20% off, 30% off, and so forth. So it's either in a percentage form or dollar figure.
All right, so if we're calculating the percentage discount, it would be the discounted amount divided by the original amount multiplied by 100.
Definitely.
All right, so let's go into a little activity that talks about, how it is that we carry out some of this. All right, so question 1. Ooh, football shoes.
Seems as if you're a football fan,
Yeah, man, I'm excited. So let's see what's happening here. So Manchester Castle football players wear Adidas football boots. The selling price for a pair of these boots is $18,000.
Wow.
This selling price includes a profit of 20%. This is interesting now. So you're saying that I have a pair of boots, $18,000, and this also includes 20% profits, okay? The first question asks us to find the cost price of the football boots.
Yeah.
And part 2 says, find the percentage profit made if the boots were sold at $16,500.
So we are seeing the selling price. So that selling price includes a 20% profit, right? No, as we have been explaining and what was explained in previous lessons, that your cost price then would be 100%.
Yes.
Right? No, if your selling price includes a 20% profit, it means that no, I've gone over that 100%.
Yes, I've actually gone to 120%.
120%.
Okay.
All right. So let us see how we'll solve this, the first part of this question.
All right. So as you stated before, my selling price is inclusive of a 20% profit. So it means that I've now gone over. So it's 120% is equal to the selling price, which is $18,000. I now need to find out what is 1%. So 1% would give me what 1% is, right? So I would calculate this by dividing $18,000 by $120, right? And that would now give me $150. So if I know that 1% is $150, I can now find my cost percentage, which is 100%, right?
Definitely.
I hope you guys are following along here. So if I have $150 and I multiply $150 by 100, it would then give me my cost price, which is $15,000.
Definitely. And I really love this strategy because we go down to the unit percentage. So as long as we can find what one is equivalent to or equal to, then we can find what 1,000, a million is.
10,
so,
15, exactly.
Right, so I really love this strategy. So our cost price is $15,000.
Yes, it is.
All right.
All right. So this part 2 of the question said, if the boots are sold at $16,500, we are now supposed to calculate percentage profit. Right. So we know that our cost price is $15,000. We know that the boots are now sold for $16,500. So we need to calculate our profit. And we find our profit by subtracting our cost price from our selling price. Yeah. So it's going to be $16,500 subtract $15,000, which would give us $1,500. Now, again, we need to stress it. When we're calculating percentage profit, it's always the cost price that we focus on. Exactly. So it's going to be our profit, $1,500 divided by $15,000 multiplied by 100. And in this case, that gave us a 10% profit. Yeah. So for every $100, we're making $10.
I don't know. Do you think this is really profitable? I don't know. $10 on each, $100.
But think about it though. Suppose I'm selling 100 shoes and I make $10 on each one of my 100 shoes. You don't think that?
Well, it all depends.
It's not bad, you know.
Because your overhead costs again.
Oh, well, that is true. I have to pay.
Water, paying the different workers and so forth. I don't know.
Maybe if I'm doing drop shipping, you know, I don't have anything. I'm going to have to think about the overheads. Maybe it couldn't work out for me, maybe. But, okay, maybe.
This is online.
Yeah, online. you know how it is now, digital. But yes, so ideally we would want to make more than 10% profit. That's
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
But at least this company is profitable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. All right, so now let's look at question 2. And the first thing that pops up is huge sale. I'm
Oh.
excited. Huge sale. Yes. So Penny's is having a huge sale to clear some old stock from last year. A pair of shoes is being sold for $3,500. When selling at this price, Penny makes a loss of 10%. So let's see what we're being asked. We're being asked now to find the cost price of the pair of shoes. And we're going to also find the percentage loss if Penny discounts this pair of shoes by a further 10%.
Wow.
Now, using the information that we would have gotten from the previous question, if we made a profit, right, and my selling price was inclusive of this profit, and as a percentage, this was 120%, now I've incurred a loss
Right.
of 10%, and my selling price is inclusive of this, as a percentage, what do you think I'd represent that as?
Yeah. Well, in this case, then, we will have to do the opposite of what we did before.
So before we added, and in this case now we're going to be subtracting. So we know that our cost price would be representative of 100%. And since we incurred a loss, we would have to now subtract 10% from that 100%. So my selling price here is actually 90%.
90%. Yeah,
So you see
definitely.
that we haven't touched any
Yeah.
working out. We're just
Yeah,
reasoning out the
yeah,
question,
yeah.
guys. We're just reasoning it out, right? So let's look at the solution and let's see. So again, selling price $3,500, inclusive of a 10% loss. 90% is $3,500. And again, we now need to find out what 1% is.
Definitely.
Now, I have a solution here, but how did we get to this 1%? If it was that in the previous example, we divided our selling price by 120%, we'd do the same procedure here.
Right.
So we're going to divide our selling price by 90%. So 3,500 divided by 90 gives us $38.88.
Yeah.
So 1% is $38.88. So we know what 1% is.
Yeah, definitely.
What is 100%?
Well, it will just be $38.88 multiplied by 100.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Right?
Just like that.
So our cost price is actually $3,888.88.
Yeah, definitely.
I jumped so fast.
You want to go back? Or
Yes,
it's
go
good?
back. Go back. So part 2 of the question, asked us then to find the loss percentage.
All right, so we're still going back.
So if it
going
is
back.
that I bought my shoes for $3,888 and I sold it for $3,500, I want to know for you guys at home to calculate your loss percentage. So right here, we're going to take our first break, but stay with us. Class time CSEC math resumes after this.
Okay, welcome back to class time. We have been looking at consumer arithmetic. Let us continue.
All right, so just before the break, we threw out a question. We now know that the cost price, or the price that we bought our shoes for, was $3,888.88, but we sold the shoes for $3,500. We asked our viewers to calculate the loss that was made
Yes.
first, and for them to go and work on the loss percentage. So let's see. If I sold my shoes for $3,500 and I bought them for $3,888.88, it means that I would have sold the shoes for $738.88 less. Right. So, if we're calculating our loss percentage, again, we're focusing on our cost price. So in this case, the cost price of the pair of shoes was $3,888.88.
Yeah.
And I'm going to divide my loss amount, which is $738.88, by that amount.
Yeah, definitely.
So my percentage loss was 19%. Wow.
Yeah. So again, we see in the calculation, so although in the question that the selling price was given, right? However, in our calculation, we cannot use our selling price because the loss that you would have incurred would be on your cost price and not on your selling price. So that is why we divided the loss by the cost price, right? So here again, the 19% really means what? We have lost what?
$19.
$19
For every $100.
for every $100.
That's a lot, every 20, that's almost $20. That's a lot, sir.
That is a lot.
Oh, wow.
That is a lot. But it depends on what was happening in the company, why they had to sell it at a loss, right? It may be that they were closing down and they just need to get rid of these items. So it all depends.
That's true. It could be a tomato season again, right?
Yeah.
So it could be the tomatoes.
Salad again.
Salad again. I just need to clear them out. All right. All right. So here we have another question. So Mrs. Jack bought 150 T-shirts for $1,920 from a factory, right? And we now need to calculate the cost of one T-shirt. Yeah. So 150 T-shirts cost $1,920. I now need to find the price of one.
Yeah.
Using all of the strategies that we've been using all along, guys, you know what we're going to do now?
Definitely.
We're going to just divide, right? So it's 1,920 divided by 150 because I now need to find the unit cost. So I need to find the cost of one T-shirt. So there we go. So the cost of one T-shirt is $12.80.
Yeah. One of this is US.
Maybe, no. Okay, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So the T-shirts are now sold for $19.99 each. So it's definitely US.
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely US. And we are definitely making a profit because my selling price is now more than my cost price, don't it? So I'm making a profit. So they're asking us to calculate the amount of money Mrs. Jack received after selling all of her T-shirts.
Yeah. I remember how many T-shirts she had before. She had
150. And she now sold them for $19.99. So I can tell you.
But why shouldn't you just sell it for $20? You know, it's normally a marketing strategy.
Yeah, make it feel
right?
like,
If it is $20, you say, well, it's expensive. But $19.99, you say, well, this is cheaper. And person just walk around and go to one store, $19.99 here. At the next store, it's $20. And you leave that store where it is $20 and go to the one for $19.99.
And it just adds up quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's going to, in the long run, sometimes it works out to be even more.
Exactly. Okay. But again, marketing strategy. So when you go into a supermarket, a store, you'll realize that the costs, they are like this, $19.99 or 95 cents and so forth. They don't really round it up to like $20 or $150 just for persons to say, well, it is cheaper.
So isn't math nice? We're getting a little bit of marketing in the math this morning. I hope you guys are enjoying the lesson. All right, so the amount of money that Mrs. Jack received for selling all of her t-shirts. So she sold all 150. So we're going to just multiply 150 by our selling price, or unit selling price, which is $19.99. All right, so Mrs. Jack made, okay, the overall selling price for the 150 t-shirts is $2,998.50.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
not bad.
Not bad.
Actually,
So
that look
definitely we
good.
can see that there was a profit, right? And we could see that by comparing the $12.80 with the $19.99.
Or like me, I just got off of the big pile. So I'm looking at the 150, and I know that I bought that for $1,920, and I'm looking at my selling price for everything in the big pile. I'm gonna say that I sell it for $2,998.50. So clearly, you know, at least $1,000 is made there just by looking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just by observation. So the total profit made, and you know, we're going to do a little subtraction here.
Yeah.
So again, the math's coming in again. So we are subtracting $1,920 from $2,998.50. And we made a total profit of $1,078.50.
Wow. Now this sounds good.
Me love this.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
This is profit.
Yes.
This
So I'm
is-
excited now because this part of it is saying the profit made as a percentage of the cost price. So we need to find the profit made as a percentage of the cost price. I want to know my percentage now.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So it is $1,078.50 divided by $1,920. And we multiply that by 100 to get a 67% profit.
Ah.
I love this business. I need to get into the t-shirt business.
Exactly. Now, again, putting it into perspective, 67%.
$67 on every 100.
$67 on every $100.
Mr. Price, we need to get into the t-shirt business.
Yeah.
This seems very profitable. Right? Can sell some t-shirts online.
This will sell more than ice cream. Definitely. Right. So this is how we can zoom in on the profit percent and see how it really makes sense. Right? So again, when you look at just the 67%, you're saying, I made 67%, but what does it really mean? What does it mean to the consumer? What does it mean to the business? $67 on each $100. It makes a lot of sense now. All right, so I hope persons were really paying attention because this is a past CSEC question, right, which may just repeat. Who knows?
That's true.
Right?
All right. So here we have another question. And now we're talking about Paul. So Paul bought and sold a computer. He wrote his business activity as follows. So the cost price of the computer is $1,064. The mark price for the computer is mark price. What's another name for mark price?
Right, selling price?
Yeah, man, the selling price
Really?
for the computer, just in case you guys are a little bit confused, is $1,399. And the discount on the mark price, if paid cash,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
5%.
Yeah.
Now, that clause right there, if paid cash, crucial.
Crucial.
I will,
Crucial.
you, all of us going to buy this computer will not get it at a discounted price unless I'm going to pay cash.
Exactly.
So if I'm paying by card, if I'm going to pay if I'm paying Paul by using my card, I'm not getting this 5%. Only if I have the cash.
All right, but suppose you're taking it out. Let us say, well, don't want to call any company, but you're taking it out on hire purchase, right? Again, that is not cash. That's not cash. So you would not have received this particular discount. So you have to have your money in hand, whether you have the cash itself or you have the card itself to pay right there. I'm not owing you anything, right? So this is, and again, this is a CSEC question, right? Now, again, we spoke about earlier about demand for items and all of that. And in this time, computers are really on demand.
That's true. High
right?
demand.
High demand. So
I need one.
when you're searching, you really want to find where you're going to get the best bargain, where you can get the best discount, right? And so this particular person is giving a 5% discount. Again, let's put it into perspective. What does that 5% discount really mean?
So I'm getting $5 off of every $100.
Yeah.
So $5 off of every $100. It seems like a little bit, though, you know.
Yeah, but at times when we are shopping, we don't really look at what we're really, the reduction in price. As long as we see discount, then a light bulb turn on in our heads. Yes, this must be a good bargain.
That's true. All right. So if it is that I paid cash, right, what will my selling price be?
Let us see.
So we would have looked at, so if I paid, we needed to find out what my 5% of my mark price is, which is $69.95. Then I would have had to subtract that from my mark price, which now means that my selling price would be $1,300, $1,329.05. No, right?
So what are we seeing here now? So the selling price is less than the marked price.
True.
Right? After the 5% discount. Now, does it mean that the company has incurred a loss?
Not necessarily, because this could have been factored in to everything. So not necessarily. So sometimes that is the discount is already factored into the selling price. So when you think you're getting a 5% off, actually, this was factored in long before.
Exactly.
Right?
So like the Black Friday promotion, and I see you're laughing,
Yes.
right? So some companies actually hike the price prior to this Black Friday and then, give a big discount and say, whoa, I must go and shop. But you're still getting it for even more than what it cost previously.
Sometimes that is so true.
So it is really good to be a wise consumer. And that is why these questions are important, not just for math purposes in terms of to pass an exam and say, yes, I can work out these questions, but it is to make you a wiser consumer.
True, because here we're talking about some things that I'm sure, we don't normally have these type of discourse in terms of understanding what exactly is happening with my discount, with my percentage loss and profit. So I hope that you're seeing how applicable this is to your lives. Right? And when you're going out there and you hear Black Friday, you may want to do little calculations and think about what you're spending on.
So these are the discussions that needs to take place in a math classroom. Right? This is what is called rich discourse.
Yes, man.
Where students can really relate. Because one of the questions that students normally ask in a math class, how will this help me? After doing all of this, how will this help me in the long run? So if they don't see the connection with real life, how it is going to benefit me, then we're going to lose our students, really.
So true, so true. And I hope it's benefiting you this morning.
I hope so.
You know how to save a little bit in your pocket. All right. So part 2 says the profit or loss as a percentage of the cash price. Yeah. Right. So again, we made a profit because we made a profit of $265.05. And again, we calculated our profit percentage as 25%. So we gave a discount, but we made a profit.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the discussion that we've been having is coming out here because although it was a discount, you actually made a profit. Discount, definitely. A lot of people think discount means that, oh gosh, I'm incurring a loss. No, discount and I made a profit. Look at that. Right?
Exactly.
And 25%, that's actually not a bad discount.
That's really a lot.
Not a bad profit.
Not bad at all.
$25 for every $100. Wow.
Not bad.
I like that.
Not bad.
That can work. Yes. It's not great, but it can work.
Yeah.
Right.
So you see the discount, well, in some cases, in a number of cases, benefits the consumer, right? But the merchant benefits as well.
True.
Right? So you may say, well, this company is good, they're looking out for our best interest and all of that. But they are also making a profit if they really calculate, think about it carefully, and put all of this in the calculation.
So here, this is for two sides of the coin. It's for our consumers. So for those of us going out and shopping, and it's for our future business owners as well. So those of you who are interested in business and want to go and open your business, this is some important things for you to take note of.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
All right. So I think Paul did a good job in terms of promoting his business, making a profit, giving a discount. You know, it's working for him.
Yes, man. He's a savvy little businessman, right? All right. So now
Yeah.
we're at the exciting part in the lesson. Right, we're summarizing. We talked about a lot this morning, right, Mr. Price?
A lot.
Talked about a lot. Some of the key things that we would have talked about, we're going to pick it up, right?
Yeah, definitely. All right, so time for another quick break. When we return, we'll wrap up. Be right back.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Let us pick up where we left off. So we were about to summarize, right?
Yes.
So we've talked a lot about a lot of things today.
A lot.
All right. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about cost price.
Yeah.
All right. So when a merchant pays an amount to purchase goods or services, the total amount paid is called your cost price. All right. So we started off this morning, right? We
Yes.
went to the factory and we bought our jersey. Our jersey cost $1,200. So that price that I paid at my factory is my cost price, right?
Definitely.
All right. So we have a little equation down here. So sometimes your cost price is your selling price subtract your profit or your loss, right? And we would have seen that coming out in the questions that we worked today, right?
Definitely. All right. What do you have next?
All right, the next one. Ready for it?
Yeah,
Profit.
really profit.
This is what I love. Profit, more money. So, profit describes the financial benefit realized when revenue generated from a business activity exceeds expenses. Now, this is math, and it sounds a little bit business-ish, right? This sounds like a little POB class, but in the math is in the POB is some math,
definitely.
right?
And that's the beauty about math.
It's
in
everywhere. So if the selling price is more than your cost price, so if I buy the goods, in my case, I went to the factory, I bought the jersey for $1,200, and I sold my jersey for $1,500, right? My selling price was more than my cost price. So when I subtracted my cost price from my selling price, I had $300 extra.
Yeah.
So I
That's
had
a
some
profit.
profit. I had some profit. And I loved
Whether
that.
small or great, but still a profit.
Yeah, man, a little bit of profit, but still, I
Still a
love the
profit.
fact that I made some money on my jersey. Right. Next one, loss. This is what I don't like now, right? I don't like to incur a loss. So this is the financial drawback realized when revenue generated from a business activity is less than the expenses incurred to purchase the goods or services, right? So the selling price is less than the cost price. We say that we've incurred a loss. And Mr. Price loves his tomatoes. So when we had to just tomato out and sell them out real fast, we incurred a loss. So we had an excess of tomatoes, right? And we just needed to, the demand wasn't there for the
Yeah.
tomatoes. So I just needed to move my tomatoes. So I had to sell my tomatoes, instead of $100, I had to sell my tomatoes for $10, right? So I incurred a loss right there. It may have cost me $200 just to plant the tomatoes. And I sell them for $10. What a big loss. Lord.
Definitely a big loss.
Yeah, man. All right. And another term that we used throughout the lesson today is selling price. Now, selling price is the total amount realized by selling an article. The selling price includes profit or loss. So, again, going back to my jersey, right? I love the jerseys. I love football. Nobody me like football.
Do you play?
No, play. Wait. No, Mr. Price. No, I don't play football, right? And don't ask me what my favorite team is because I don't want anybody to come for me after this
What's
show.
your favorite team?
Not going to ask. Yes, I like Man. Yes, I like them. I like Man U. Okay, so the selling price is inclusive of profit or loss. So when I sold my jersey for $1,500, right, it included my $300 profit, no matter how little bit the profit was.
You still made a profit.
I still made a profit, so it was inclusive of that. Suppose I sold my jersey now for $1,000. So when I bought the jersey, it was $1,200. I sold it now for $1,000. My selling price is inclusive of a $200 loss. Yeah. So the selling price is inclusive of either my profit or my loss, right?
A question though,
Yeah, man.
come to think of it, What if you sell, you bought the jersey for $1,200? What if you sell it for, let us say, $3,000?
I bought it for 1,200 and I sold it for?
Like $3,000.
Oh, wow.
So in that case, you realize what happened. You what? You double the money.
You remember double?
There's a concept, a misconception that students have that percent, since we say that percent is out of 100, then you cannot get more than 100%.
Oh, so true.
But what if I double my money? What if I triple my money?
But you see, there are times when my selling price was more than 100. You remember that example where we sold and the percentage profit was 120%. Right. So I made more than 100. So my cost price was, you remember that? Yes, man.
Definitely.
So sometimes you can double your money.
Right. So although percent is out of 100, you can still have more than 100% if you double, triple your money, or
once I'm making some profit, don't?
Yeah.
It's more than going to be my 100%, right? So I always like the profit. But if I lose some money, it's going to be less, right, than 100%. Alrighty. Okay, so just as a reminder and a refresher to everybody, let's talk about this merchant and some mask. Right, so the merchant buys some mask and he sells the mask for $900, right? I want for you guys at home to take a little picture of this and calculate the total cost of the mask, the profit percentage on the sale of the mask, and go on social media, man, and type in your answer. So take a picture, guys. Take a picture of this question, right? And I want for you to work it out for us. All right, do you think they've got the picture now?
They should.
I hope so. All righty.
And that's it. We have come to the end of another week of learning.
If you missed the session or simply want to reinforce the information, tune in to JNN at 5 p.m. for the rebroadcast, or you can access video on demand on One Spot Media for any of the week's session.
And remember, there's a school time channel, 24-hour learning on One Spot Media as well.
We hope you enjoy your weekend. Rest, relax, and yes, review.
And return next week for all new sessions of class time. Until then,
keep safe.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.